So the final heat for the X30 Mini. Let's take a look at the grid. And on pole position, it's Callum Tanner. He'll be starting just ahead of AJ Arnold. Second row is Ben Cochran and Bradley Beavers. In fifth place is Ellis Bourchier. And then it's Lucas Ellingham in sixth place. Christian Brooks will start seventh, ahead of Louis Hawley, and there they are, just making their way round. And once everyone's out of the pit lane, as I think they are, they'll take that Kart in. So 7th and 8th is Brooks and Horsley. 9th is Teddy Thomas. 10th will be Jamie Perry. And then 11th will be Drew Davidson. 12th on the grid will be Findlay Dunn. Row 7 is then Harvey Ribby and Daniel Bolton. And Daniel Bolton, who has been fairly impressive so far in the races today. Ben Jenkins will start 15th. 16th will be William Cordell. 17th will be Kean Shields, just ahead of Luke Weston in 18th. 19th is Jude Vernehuff, who was due to start on pole position in the first heat, but didn't make the race. Did compete in the second and is now taking part in the final one. And Oliver Cottam, the novice, starting last as they go around the final corner to get themselves underway in the X30 Mini Heat number 3. And it's a fairly clean start going around the first few corners, no contact, everyone facing the right way up towards turn 3. And in the lead, it looks like Callum Tanner's coming under pressure from Ben Cochran, I think, who's in second place. AJ Arnold started in second, but dropped to fourth behind Lucas Ellingham, who's now in third place. Callum Tanner just holding on to the lead, but 2 looking up the inside, and they're very close together. The number 88 is Ben Cochran, who was trying to go for the lead, but doesn't quite make it. But having another look and not able to make it. Callum Tanner defending very, very well, knowing just how much space to leave without causing any collisions, and managing to get through the first lap in the lead. So it's Callum Tanner ahead of Ben Cochran, followed by Lucas Ellingham. AJ Arnold's in P4. P5 is Christian Brooks. Losers in that were Ellis Bouchier and Bradley Beavers, who've both dropped down a couple of places. And into the lead now is Ben Cochran. He did manage to find a way past, as has Lucas Ellingham, and that's dropped down Callum Tanner to third place. So a bit disappointing. Callum was doing very well on the first lap to hold them up, but doesn't quite manage it now. And it's a battle for the lead between Lucas Ellingham and Ben Cochran. And Lucas Ellingham is in the lead at the moment in the number 39, but that could change very quickly. And Callum Tanner's retaining third place at the moment. And move up the inside to the number 38, having to go back to Louis Horsley, just getting past a few of the drivers. Although having, in the end, technically lost a place on that lap. So the front 3, Lucas Ellingham, Ben Cochran and Callum Tanner, but Callum Tanner's under threat from Christian Brooks. Christian Brooks, number 82, not quite managing to make that move stick, and having another look up the inside into turn 6. That one will stick, so that's now third place for Christian Brooks, ahead of Callum Tanner. And then Bradley Beavers getting interested in number 29 just behind that. So Christian Brooks now versus Callum Tanner's out of the way. Will he be looking to get closer? Well, I don't think at the moment that's an option, because Callum Tanner's right on his tail, going through the boot. So it's Lucas Ellingham leading the way from Ben Cochran, and on that lap, Daniel Bolton's fastest of anyone, more than 3 tenths quicker than anyone else on that lap. Daniel Bolton, who's in P6. And I think that Daniel Bolton and Louis Horsley's, I think, made a move there and just lost out. But the front 2 is still Lucas Ellingham ahead of Ben Cochran. Christian Brooks is in third ahead of Callum Tanner. But these front 2 are looking very, very close. They're feisty, and they are looking to see who can come out ahead and be leading this race. And I think that Ben Cochran might be lining the move up. Just get a good run through these first few corners along the pit straight, through turns 1 and 2. And then there's a good opportunity going into turn 3. Near identical lap times for the front 2 on that last lap. So very close, but not looking to the inside is Ben Cochran, choosing to stick behind Lucas Ellingham. And Christian Brooks right on the tail of Ben Cochran now, and looking up the inside into turn 6, takes second place away. So that's second place for Christian Brooks. And Callum Tanner's also lost a position to Daniel Bolton, who's got past Bradley Beavers as well in the last couple of laps. So Daniel Bolton now up into P4. So Christian Brooks made a move to get past Ben Cochran on that lap, but Ben Cochran is still very close behind. And there's a bit of a gap between the leader and second position. It's second down to 4, all very close together. Daniel Bolton, another fastest lap then. And he was almost a second quicker than the two in front of him, although Ben Cochran was overtaken on that lap, so he did lose out a little bit. And it seems as though Christian Brooks not quite able to keep up with them, and there's a move. And that's Daniel Bolton taking 2 places, getting up into second in one corner. And Ben Cochran stayed third in that, so Christian Brooks dropped from second to 4th. Great move by Daniel Bolton, who has been setting the fastest laps. And we'll now see how close he can get to race leader Lucas Ellingham. And a bit of a battle going on there. That's involving Callum Tanner and Bradley Beavers, but with Callum Tanner coming out just ahead. That one wasn't even a personal best for Daniel Bolton, but still quicker than everyone else. And Bradley Beavers and Callum Tanner still sticking with this group, so as they seem to battle amongst each other, no one's able to get away. Lucas Ellingham has the lead about a half a second, but Daniel Bolton's looking to close it at the moment. And here's a replay of that move by Daniel Bolton. And he was in 4th going into it, took 2 places, and the big loser was Christian Brooks, who dropped from 2nd to 4th. Round the boots, and Daniel Bolton getting closer to the leader. We'll see now how big is the gap between them. Well, it's 0.2 of a second, and another fastest lap for Daniel Bolton. 2 tenths quicker, and if Daniel Bolton can be 2 tenths quicker on this lap, we could see a change for the lead. Christian Brooks makes a move, meanwhile, up the inside of Ben Cochran. That's for 3rd. Callum Tanner still holding on to P5, ahead of Bradley Beavers. The front 6, all battling very closely. Behind them, there are some close battles as well. I can tell you that Drew Davidson's just ahead of Louis Hawley and Kean Shields at the moment. But there's the battle for 3rd, with Christian Brooks just ahead of Ben Cochran. So Daniel Bolton has set fastest laps on 2 of the last 3 laps. Will we see another one here? The gaps stayed exactly the same. They set identical lap times there. So you can see just how close they are. Is Daniel Bolton able to try and make a move and find a little bit extra as they make their way up to turn 6, which is Chapman's? And it's very close. It looks closer than it has been at times. They're almost touching each other. Going around turn 7 with Daniel Bolton just behind Lucas Ellingham. And I think that Daniel's starting to realise there's just over a minute left. Looks up the inside, and there's a tiny bit of contact going into the boost, but not enough to really make any changes. Both of them still going in the same way, facing the way they should be. But Daniel Bolton, with 54 seconds to go, the lap times they're setting, they'll get 2 more in. Well, they'll come across the line. They'll get 3 more in fact. And there's a move up the inside. Daniel Bolton finally makes his way past Lucas Ellingham. He'd been sat behind him for several laps. Now makes the move into the lead. Christian Brooks is 3rd ahead of Ben Cochran, just behind that. But finally Daniel Bolton leads. Daniel Bolton, who started in P14, makes the move to get past Lucas Ellingham, who started 6th but had led most of this race. Christian Brooks behind, defending from Ben Cochran. They're looking quite close as well, and Callum Tanner has been able to hold on to 5th place. Not too much pressure at the moment from Bradley Beavers behind. And there it is, the change of leader. And there might just be another one, because at the moment Lucas Ellingham is very, very close, but doesn't go for it. There's just under 2 laps to go, 1.5 I suppose, in the final X30 mini heat. But car number 43, Daniel Bolton, leading the way ahead of Lucas Ellingham. And for a minute you thought he wouldn't try and make a move. There's a yellow flag, so there'll be no overtaking there. There's a Kart off the track with smoke coming out the back of it, number 20. which is Drew Davidson. He's not had the best of days. I think that might be his second retirement, or at the very least he was involved in a collision which dropped him down. So Lucas Ellingham sets a personal best on that previous lap, and he's looking close. Will Lucas Ellingham on the last lap try and make a move? Daniel Bolton defending the inside line and keeps Lucas Ellingham just behind him. Behind that, Christian Brooks also holds on to third ahead of Ben Cochran and Callum Tanner, who's rejoined them, looking to make a move. They're going up the inside, so Christian Brooks is defending from Ben Cochran, and they just about managed to stay in the positions they were a few corners ago. It's been a very entertaining race with several big battles going on, and still that yellow flag's there, and a move up the inside, and well, Lucas Ellingham's taken the lead, but under a yellow flag going into the last corner. And there's also moves just behind that. Christian Brooks finishes third, so wins taken by Lucas Ellingham. I'm not sure if he may get a penalty for taking under the yellow flag. Daniel Bolton came home second. Christian Brooks was third ahead of Ben Cochran in fourth. Bradley Beavers ended up in P5. P6 was Callum Tanner. So Bradley Beavers was able to make up that place in the end. Finley Dunn 7th. 8th was Louis Horsley. 9th was Harvey Ribby. 10th, Kean Shield.